Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Booktube Bestie. In today's episode, we will be reading Ashleigh's Best and Worst Reads of 2022. This is the 7th episode, I believe, in the series, and if you want to watch them all, there is a playlist on my channel or in the pinned comments. There will be all of them. You can watch this episode without watching all the rest. There's a scoreboard at the end that will spoiler scores for you, but like the actual reviews and feelings of books, you won't know until you go back and watch those episodes. Essentially, the idea with Booktube Bestie is to see how much my taste aligns with all the people that I love to watch on Booktube. So the idea is that if you give a book 5 stars, I'll give a book 5 stars. If you give a book 2 stars, I'll give a book 2 stars. So we're looking for a net value of 0 at the end of this. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. I don't think I've actually really explained this in any other videos, but video 7, I'm on it. In today's episode, I said we're doing Ashleigh's already, but she gave me 3 books, I think, for best. And the one she told me that she thinks I would like the most was Master Artificer by Justin T. Cal. She didn't know that I had read book 1 already, so she did say the sad thing is you'd have to read book 1 first. But I actually read book 1 last year for Jade's Booktube Bestie episode. And so I think it's interesting. I like having a sequel in here. I think it's interesting to see, especially because when I left Master of Sorrows off last year, I gave it a 3 stars and I was like, I need to read the next book to decide whether I'm going to continue or not. I felt very in the middle with my thoughts on Master of Sorrows, and so giving the book, having this push to read book 2 will mean that I can decide whether the series is for me or isn't, and I'm really hopeful it is. The thing with Ashleigh is me and Ashleigh have a lot in common and a lot polar opposites. It's kind of been a running joke for us that if I love a book, she'll either love it or absolutely hate it. And if she loves a book, I'll either love it or absolutely hate it. And there's like not a lot of middle ground. So essentially I'm expecting to love or hate books in this video today. And for her worst book of the year, she gave me 2 options. Ashleigh. Ashleigh. I think you came for me a little bit with these because you're making me read them. Booktube Bestie is a terrible idea sometimes because it means I have to read people's worst books. But she gave me 2 YA options. Actually, one's adult, but like in my head, it's YA. The Book of Night with it is the Holly Black book, and then Sorcery of Thorns. Not gonna lie, I have no interest in the Book of Night. I only heard terrible things about that. Both of these books are available on Scribd, and Book of Night is shorter, so I probably should go with that one, but like I've only heard bad reviews. At least Sorcery of Thorns I've heard mostly bad, but like a couple good. So we're picking Sorcery of Thorns and we're gonna see where my thoughts end up. I'm gonna leave it up to future Cassidy to tell you what they're about. I am so far really liking there is a change from one of the female POVs in the first book to now, and I'm really liking the journey that character is going on. It's what I wanted from the first book, and it's a little bit grittier and darker, and I'm liking that quite a bit. Hi, I'm just getting ready for the day, and I've never filmed a vlog clip with a mirror, and I don't know why I thought it was cool, but I keep forgetting to update you guys on Master Artificer. I'm 70% through this book, actually. It's been the book that I just keep picking up throughout this entire process. I started this book quite early. I think I started when I was reading Lexi's books, and it's just been my audiobook throughout this entire time, which means I forget to update you about it, but also I forget to update because I just feel like nothing's happened. Not that nothing's happened, actually. I feel like nothing's happened for this book to be 800 pages. Things happen, but not enough that why is this book so long? That's my update, and the rest of it you're just getting when it's done. And also, yes, it's a family cabin right now, so these are all everyone's swim trunks. Okay, Master Artificer. I barely updated you guys on this book, which is interesting because so far it's the longest book that I've read for Booktube Bestie, but it got the least amount of review time, I feel like, mostly because there's something about the writing style of this author that I just do not care, which sounds really harsh, but it just is the truth. Things get so repetitive in these stories for plot, well, I shouldn't say for plot, for world building, for magic systems, for characters, that I just stop caring. Earlier, I did like what happens with a female character from the first book. In this book, she becomes something different than she was in the first book, and it's darker and grittier, and I really did enjoy her character and her POVs in the beginning chapters. And then at some point it's just like, okay, we're doing nothing new. We're learning more magic, I guess, but like, it's just so surface level in all matters. I don't know. I don't think I will be continuing this series unless next year someone puts it on their best or their worst list and I read it for Booktube Bestie, because so far I've read book 1 and book 2 for an episode of Booktube Bestie, and each one has just left me feeling so disappointed. I cannot see how this story could be a villain origin story, or at least a good villain origin story. We do have a scene that happens in this book that I think you're supposed to be like, yes, now I see it. But it just felt so false to me. I didn't believe it. I think, honestly, I probably stopped listening to too much of this book at some point. Like, I kept finding myself backtracking and going back in the story because I was like, wait, I missed something. And then I felt like I didn't miss anything when I went back. But I don't know, this book does not need to be 800 pages. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm not a fan of this story. I feel similarly to how I felt in book 1, in book 2, and I think I do a really good review of book 1 in last year's Booktube Bestie, which is Jade's episode. You can find all this on my channel. There is a Booktube Bestie playlist with last year's and this year's, and it will have next year's too, because I am thinking this will come back next year. But yeah, there's just something about the writing style that doesn't work for me. It's very repetitive, it's very slow, and just like there's no reason for either of these books to be so long. The first book is like 500, this book is like 800. Nothing happens within them, like, to make them this long. For a long book, it should be filled with beautiful little moments and spots that matter later on, and all of these wonderful connections and world building. It should just be so like rich in all of these things, in character moments, but it just isn't. And I just am not a fan, which really sucks. But it is what it is. I'm giving this one a 2-star. It's not a 1-star. I enjoyed it enough still, but it is getting a 2-star, which I believe is a +3 for Ashleigh. Yeah, let's go into the worst book now. Let's keep it rolling. Hello, I am going to be making myself some lunch, and I figured I would update you on my reads. I love how cute this like mini cutting board is. So I think it's hilarious that I could be liking Sorcery of Thorns more than I liked Master Artificer. And just in general, I think it's funny that I'm liking this story. I'm 7 chapters in currently, and I will just say, like, I am intrigued. Like, I'm very intrigued by everything that's going on. Which, like, to me is good, especially for YA. But I just think it's hilarious, because anyone who clicked on this video and saw the thumbnail and knows my reading taste went, wow, I'm so sorry for you, Cassidy, because you know I don't like YA often, and I know a lot of people who don't like this story. Like, people who I think would have liked it don't like it. So I'm scared to continue, but at this moment in time, I'm liking it. I went into this story knowing pretty much nothing, because it's never been a story that I would have read or picked up. It's never been for me, and I'm really glad I went into it knowing nothing, because we have our character who has been orphaned and raised within this like magical library, and the library setting is just not normally for me. I just have no idea what to expect from this story, which is I think what's intriguing me, because I have no idea if it's supposed to be more like romantic based like a lot of YA is or what. And we have her being put into a situation where people think that she murdered someone, and I love a murder mystery too. So I'm just intrigued at this moment in time, and like, poor Ashleigh if I like this one, because I was pretty sold that like Ashleigh's picks would be at least solid enough. I thought I would like Master Artificer, and I thought I would dislike this one. So it's just gonna be wild if it's the opposite. But I will keep you updated in a bit. I'm just making myself some ramen. We have We made like ramen the other day and I have leftover soup and vegetables from it. So I'm just gonna throw together a little bit. See you soon. Okay, I'm only like a chapter since last time I checked in with you, but I do want to say something I'm liking about this story is the naivety, I don't know how to say it, but how naive our main character is. I think that having a character who grew up in this library, very sheltered, she only learned from books and fairy tales and stories, and she had no parental figure that taught her reality, taught her the world, taught her the taught her the politics. Then we now get to see this world for the first time through her eyes. And I think that will make a very, very rich YA experience. You know, for adult books, sometimes it's not my favorite way to experience a story, but when it comes to YA stories, I do think I like that. I like seeing a character experience a world for the first time. I know it's something I really, really loved about the Red Queen series, and I also think it's something I really enjoyed about the Ember and the Ashes quartet. Our main character, the female, that experiences this camp for the first time. So I do think that like a naive main character in YA really works for me. Is that something that works for you guys? Like, is it just me? I just find it very accessible, and then it's easy to like not have to worry about the world building as much or the magic system because we're being taught it with our main character, so it feels very natural. That's all I have to say. I will see you guys in a bit. Something just happened in this story, and I feel like it happened so quickly. I had to go back to see if I missed something, and I didn't. But I feel like I did still, so yeah, that's all I have to say. And yes, I'm relaxing in the tub, like always. Yes, the bathroom is the only spot in this house that has decent enough lighting at 11 p.m. for me to vlog in. So here we are, and I'm sorry because I didn't bring a ring light. But I finished Sorcery of Thorns, and the plot twist of the century is that I actually kind of liked this one. There was something so endearing about the protagonist for me and the relationships that were formed within this story. And like that's pretty much what made my enjoyment so high. I really enjoyed our protagonist. I found that she was such a, like her and like her love interest, okay, because there is a love interest in this, just like typical YA. We're such a beautiful contrast that I live for. So we have this like stoic man who's like got something wrong with him and he's kind of brooding and he's hiding secrets from her because of the thing that's wrong with him. It's like a curse, blah, blah, blah. And then we have this just like wild child protagonist, and I just love the dynamic between these two. And I just truly was indulging in this story. Like, I don't know, I don't like YA, so I'm shocked. But it really worked for me. I mean, I'm not gonna say I loved it. It's not even a high rating, but like, I thought I was going to hate the story. And I didn't. Like, I actually didn't, and I'm just shocked. So pretty much the character and my enjoyment was what saved this story, and I mean, I did kind of like the magic system. I mean, I love the idea of demons in my stories, and I love what demons can bring to a story and the messages about demons, and there's a demon character specifically in this that I really enjoyed, and seeing, like, how sometimes you just work with what you were given. I really liked that. And I liked the libraries. I don't know, there's a lot of the story that I don't know why I liked it, because like I would not recommend this to a lot of people, but for some reason it just worked for me, and I might continue. I ended up giving this one 3 stars, so that was a big shock for me, and probably a really big shock to all of you. And there we've had it. We've come to the end of this video, and just so everyone knows, I forgot to bring a ring light. You saw it in the last clip. So I'm out here using a phone flashlight, and look at the difference that makes. Oh my gosh. Little simple tricks. give yourself some backlighting and a flashlight. Thank you, Ashleigh, for being a part of this. I actually, since you saw the last clip, went and looked and made sure all of everyone's reviews were on par. So Ashleigh gave Master of Sorrows 5 and I gave it a 2, which is a +3. And Ashleigh gave Sorcery of Thorns 2 and I gave it a 3, which is +4 in total for her. I do think it's interesting because I went and read Ashleigh's review for Sorcery of Thorns and I agree with so much of it. And these are all things that typically bother me, but they just didn't bother me in this book. And I think it's hilarious because I do think it was such a good pick for her, because like in realistic standards, I should have hated that book, but like I kind of liked it. And I think it all just had to do with the characters. I just liked the characters enough to forgive the conveniences and the magic system changing all the time and all of that. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to thank Ashleigh for being a part of this video and to give you the scoreboard. So Ashleigh sits at +4, and guess what? Sorry, Ashleigh. Good job, Lexi. This is anything Lexi's ever wanted. She's been at the bottom of the scoreboard since episode 2. I do think that Lexi beats out Ashleigh, and Ashleigh will come out at the final spot in this one, because I did enjoy Sundial more than I enjoyed Master Artificer. It was small. I want to say it was like 0.50. I don't remember the exact scores. If Cassidy is smart enough later, she will pop them up here, but I make no promises. Normally I would check, but my phone is right there giving me light. It is really close, and yeah, I don't know. I have nothing else to say besides that if you don't follow Ashleigh, A Frolic Through Fiction, you should. If you love aesthetics, Ashleigh is the aesthetic queen. She also reads lots of dark academia, and she also reads a lot of just like sorcery vibes. Like there's just a vibe to the books Ashleigh reads, and I feel like Master Artificer and Sorcery of Thorns are like perfect representations of that vibe. I don't know how to explain it to you, so I think you should go check out Ashleigh's channel and then you'll understand what I'm saying. I need to stop talking with my hands so much. It really annoys me. Thank you, Ashleigh, so much for participating in this. It was really fun to compare our reads, especially since I expected them to be either exact or vice or opposites. We're coming to the end of this series. I have 2 more episodes left for you. And I just am so thankful for everyone who's watched them and participated in them. It's been a heck of a time, and I wasn't sure people were going to like the way I did Booktube Bestie this year within 1 month and a competition and only 1 book off of each one and like a net value. So I'm really happy it's been so successful. If you are feeling chatty, let me know some of your thoughts down below. If you're surprised by anything, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone is. If you liked the B-roll in this, I did a little bit more B-roll because I feel like that's Ashleigh's vibe, is some B-roll, and I'm not normally a B-roll kind of gal. So let me know if you liked that. And then if you're not feeling chatty and just want to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a candle emoji. I just feel like that fits Ashleigh very well. And then if you want to connect with me on other platforms, my Bookstagram, my Book Twitter, my Goodreads, and my Patreon, all linked in the description bar below. Have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day, and I'll see you in the next episode of Booktube Bestie.